Muy buenas pepinotes, estamos otra vez aquí en Metal Gear Solid en un capítulo extra en el que vamos a poner un par de cintas para complementar el modo historia. Y me parece que va a tratar sobre todo de la puñetera epidemia que está azotando mi base, porque como habéis visto ha muerto otro tío de enfermedad y me pone de los nervios. Pero bueno, venga, vamos a escuchar las cintas, que es a lo que vamos a ver el capítulo extra. Seguramente cuando acabe lo de las cintas haga el mini truco que pone en el título del vídeo. Así que venga, vamos a ello. Aunque todavía no sé si lo voy a hacer. Así que no sé, según veis el título lo haré o no lo haré. Y esto que estoy diciendo es tontería o no es tontería. A ver, venga, vamos. Hay que escuchar esta, que si quieres le da antes. Así que venga, vamos a escucharla.
The infection on Mother Base. The blisters on the body were full of tiny worms. Parasite larvae, most likely. But we couldn't find any adults. It doesn't seem to mature in the body, like a spargatum. We don't know the root of infection, or what causes symptoms to develop. The infection rate, along with the number of dead, are both on the rise. If we don't find the cause, and soon...
Boss, do you remember seeing these symptoms before? The bodies floating around in the oil facility, the bedridden test subjects at the Devil's House? This epidemic looks just like what we've seen on our hunt for Cypher. It could be a counterplay by Skullface.
That's insane. You mean they weaponize parasites?
Parasites as weapons. That definitely falls under the Biological Weapons Convention, but it's something the world would never see coming. And no one's ever developed a vaccine for parasites.
So this is the weapon of mass destruction Cypher was working on in Africa?
It may be. But if it is, how did the Yellow Cake and Walker Gears fit in? There must be something bigger we're not seeing. Anyway, our priority now is to prevent more casualties.
The medical team is studying the infection, but we can't treat anyone until we know the root cause. All we can do right now is halt the spread of infection.
Vale, perdón por la tos y tal y cual, pero no lo puedo evitar. Venga, eso más o menos ya nos habíamos enterado, pero vamos a esto, que es donde está la chichilla, que es identificando a los infectados. Yo deduje que eran a través del idioma del Kikongo, porque casi todos los infectados tenían el Kikongo o el ruso, así que me la jugué y dije, venga, el Kikongo.
Remember before, boss, when Quiet attacked one of our guys on Mother Base, stuck a knife in his mouth. He's one of the very few soldiers who've had contact with her recently. Close contact. I don't think it's a coincidence that he was among those who became symptomatic pretty early on in this epidemic. Saliva and blood spatter, an open wound, mucosal infection. Whatever is causing this got inside him then.
Miller, that is a baseless accusation.
The source of the infection is Quiet. Everyone suspects her.
We don't know that. And we've come across these symptoms before. The bodies in the water at the oil field facility. Those sick people in the beds at the Devil's House. They're identical to what we've seen while we've been after Cypher. The infection could have come from elsewhere. But at the very least, she does know something.
It's not like she's gonna talk.
No, not through words anyway. But what about her actions? Quiet held a knife to that soldier back then, before he became symptomatic. There must have been a reason for that.
A reason for shoving a knife down the throat of one of our men.
What if she's capable of identifying who's infected? What if she was trying to stop the infection but couldn't communicate that to us? The answer to that, the source of the infection, might be in the mouths of the infected.
You think there's some kind of clue in their mouths?
I don't know. But maybe there's something about the mouths of those who've become symptomatic, something in common.
Something their mouths have in common. Forget it. We can't trust her. Even if she can spot the infected, I don't want her help.
I understand how you feel. But this is something to go on.
Can't you see it's just like I said? Bringing her here was a big mistake. Quiet is gonna be the end of us.
Stand down. You've got zero proof. Try to keep an open mind on this, boss. There has to be a way to identify who's infected.
Pues bueno, debería escuchar esta cinta mucho antes, con lo de la pista de las bocas y tal, Si hubiese también... Es decir, aquí esta cinta es una pista fundamental porque en teoría el tío que quiere Kiet va a la enfermería y con lo de la boca sabríamos el idioma que hablaba. Yo creo que a estas alturas ya del juego ya estoy casi seguro del 100% de que el idioma es el que está haciendo que se propague la enfermedad. Aparte lo de que Kiet pueda detectar quién está infectado o no, se le ponen los ojos en modo, por así decirlo, mariposa, igual que el viejo. Así que eso es muy interesante, por eso los puede detectar. Muy interesante esta grabación. Todas las que son amarillas suelen ir casi siempre enfocadas a las misiones. Así que esa ha estado interesante. Venga, vamos a ver qué más hay por aquí. Creo que unas cuantas de África y sobre la fábrica de los muertos y de la mamba blanca. Bueno, no hay muchas, pero vamos a escucharlas. Las de África van a ser las más largas. ¿O no?
Zero Risk Security aren't as hardcore a military outfit compared to the other two PFs in this region. The company sends operators to conflict regions around the world, not just Africa. They have decades of combined experience. They're also based out of South Africa. Their headquarters is in Johannesburg. A lot of their work involves corporate security for South African companies, but a good number of their operators are retired South African military. So don't mistake them for a bunch of security guards.
Vale, me da la impresión de que esa cinta ya la hemos escuchado. No sé por qué, ¿eh? Pero bueno, venga.
Rogue Coyote operates mainly out of Africa these days. Of the three PFs, they're the smallest. However, they scooped up most of the Rhodesian SAS after the country collapsed 4 years ago. Picture their entire organization as one big special forces unit. With Rhodesia a British colony, the Rhodesian SAS had its origins in 22 SAS Sea Squadron. They started out as a group known as the Southern Rhodesia Volunteers. But in '51 they were incorporated into 22 SAS as members of the British Commonwealth and deployed to fight guerrillas in the Malayan emergency. Even now, 22 SAS keeps the Sea Squadron designation empty in recognition of their service. In a way, you could say the SAS almost makes up the core of Rogue Coyote. Later on, they were bolstered by other talent, including former Cella Scouts and 32 Battalion. These guys are direct descendants of the best special forces in the world. They won't go down without a fight. Don't get careless. Kunganga Mine. A civil war's been going on in that region for the last 20 years. It's being fought by what are now two ethnic groups, the Buta and the Mbele. Originally, you could barely tell them apart, but the reason for the current armed conflict goes back to World War I. After the war, their land was colonized by a European power, and it decided to give local control to the Buta. That split the two groups into rulers and subjects, laying the foundations for an inevitable civil war. The friction between them remained even after they won independence from Europe. The Buta are holding on to power to this day, and the Mbele rebels continue to fight back. The conflict is funded by locally mined gold, rare metals, diamonds. They've used the money from those to arm themselves, buy oil, and even hire PFs. The Buta administration owns the mining rights to Kunganga Mine. But most of the laborers are Mbele, who they've taken prisoner. The product they've gouged out of their land is bought up by cheap Western corporations. And the civil war is fueled by the profits. That's how it goes. One country's people is split apart by another country. Then the two groups tear up their own land for money in order to fight each other. Now this civil war started by a foreign power is the norm, and it's sucking up all the country's resources. PFs are just the same. They follow the money, taking war with them wherever they go. That goes for us too. It's an endless river of bloody retaliation, and we're standing downstream. Should we make a stand and staunch the flow? Or wade in amongst the corpses and make a bigger splash than the rest? We'll follow your lead, boss.
Vale, bueno, se han contado un poquito el tema África, cómo va, las fuerzas que hay, privadas y tal y cual. Un poco interesante, la verdad es que las que más son interesadas son las de color amarillo, así que vamos a escucharlas.
Boss, about those invalids you saw in that devil's house.
Poor bastards. All strapped down to their beds, with those lumps on their chest.
The medical staff tell me they were probably a type of cyst.
Cysts can get that big.
In some cases, yes. But supposing they're a kind of atheroma forming on the surface of the skin, the size is just too big, and the appearance is all wrong. In the end, the medical team were at a loss. Those lumps were like nothing they'd ever seen. The fluid you said you got on your prosthesis when you touched one was burned off in the fighting, and the factory burned down too. None of the tests we did once you were back at the base revealed a pathogen that could have caused them. Meaning we don't have a single sample to work with.
Everything went up in flames.
What worries the medical team most is whether it's contagious. Whether there's a chance we could end up like that.
And?
Mother Base's sanitation control has always been strict. After all, war is great at transporting diseases. For the time being, at least. There's no sign of contagion or any symptoms that could be related. One more thing. About the surgery that had been performed on the people in the Devil's House.
Yeah?
You said that their throats were cut open, with an acoustic tube pushed inside?
Right. The tubes were hooked up to tape recorders, playing some kind of audio.
Well, we picked up some of that audio through your radio transmissions and recorded it here. The intel team has been working on analyzing the communications log.
What have they found?
There's nothing tying the contents together. We've got a report on 3 deaths in a car accident on the autoroute near Marseille. Protests outside the Libyan embassy in London. A press conference with the former Prime Minister of Sweden. A 4-month-old weather forecast for Balikpapan. And then commercials for appliances, cough syrup, and TV dinners. Assuming they're not all staged, they come off as recordings of your average public broadcasts.
Public broadcasts? Just radio and TV signals?
Yes. And from all over the world. We're looking into whether they're genuine or not, just to be sure. What else? A speech that sounds like it was recorded out on the street, and people chatting about how this year's tomato crop did.
And there's nothing they have in common?
We're partway through the cryptanalysis. That includes checking all audio ranges and running it backward and at different speeds. Then there's vocabulary breakdown for political suggestions, ideological comment points. But I don't think it's going to get us anywhere.
Where were the recordings made?
There's nothing linking them from that angle either. Just like you reported, we've detected virtually every major language there is. French, German, Italian, Spanish, including South American accents. Then there's Russian, Hindi, Arabic, Portuguese, Mandarin, Cantonese, Japanese.
They're nothing if not thorough.
Well, I don't know if we've got them all covered. Ignoring the ones that have gone extinct, supposedly over 5,000 languages exist today. Besides, English isn't one of the ones we picked up.
Really? English?
I know. Only 5% of the world's population is a native English speaker. But when you factor in those who've acquired it as a second language, nearly 1/3 of the people speak it. The world's dominant lingua franca. You gotta figure they had it somewhere among all the languages in that place.
No English.
Bear in mind, we didn't hear everything that was played in that room. We couldn't isolate the more distant sounds due to static and the program could have been set to change every day. In a nutshell, for reasons unknown, people in that room with a common medical condition were made to listen to recordings in languages from around the world. It's not clear how the growths on their chests fit into it. It could have been treatment for them, or maybe an experiment of some kind.
I'm guessing one person knows.
Yeah, Skullface. He was there. The only thing we can say for sure is that he's involved.
Vale, pues esto ha sido más interesante. Es decir, en los auriculares que tenían en la garganta tenían todos los idiomas menos el inglés. Y eso corrobora lo que me dijo el viejo. O la deducción que saqué al escuchar al viejo, que era un arma que se propagaba por la voz a todos los idiomas menos el inglés. Querían que salvasen a todos los que hablasen inglés. Entonces lo que estaban haciendo eran experimentos, yo creo, para intentar enseñarles el idioma, otros idiomas que no fuesen inglés. Y de hecho en toda la ristra esa de idiomas que me ha dicho, ninguno ha sido el kikongo. Lo que me da que pensar que, es decir, el kikongo ya lo tienen dominado como medio de propagación de la bacteria esa, y lo que quieren hacer con esos cuerpos que estaban experimentando es que se propagase a través de otro idioma, ¿no? No sé, yo es lo que deduzco de eso, pero bueno, vamos a escuchar las últimas que quedan de Mamba Blanca que quiero saber quién es, que todavía dudo entre si es el puto Liquid o es el puto Raiden. Así que venga, vamos a escucharlas y a ver si me saca algo en claro.
The White Mamba, Nyokayam Pembe. He's the commander of the kids based out of Wala Yamasa. As you know, contract forces of Africa were stationed at that village. Anti-government forces hired CRS to bring kids there from around Africa for training. But at some point, the adults with the PF started dropping like flies. This was right after we arrived in Africa. We don't know the cause. The kids ended up on their own. Must have been like fish out of water. Nothing to eat, no way to get back home. All the adults taught them was how to use a gun. Sure, they could shoot targets, but hunt for food? Not likely. They wouldn't have lasted long. Then the White Mamba showed up. He was faster and stronger than them, a better soldier, and he knew how to lead. I guess somebody wished upon a star, because their savior turned up like stardust straight out of the blue. The moment he arrived, the kids had their new commander. That was when they started attacking other villages. Word of the infamous White Mamba spread fast. But it isn't just his combat skills that got people talking. As you can tell from the name, he's the only light-skinned kid in the unit. Not to mention the blonde hair and the blue eyes. Not common in those parts. We have no idea where he came from or what he's experienced. The kid's a huge blank. But I'm sure you'll know him when you see him. One other thing. He's still a kid, so don't kill him. Be careful not to hit him with anything lethal. Not even a flesh wound. Our mission objective isn't just suppressing a bunch of militants. This is a DDR operation of the kids in that unit. DDR stands for Disarmament, Demobilization, and Reintegration. Disarmament is obvious. We take their weapons off their hands. The demobilization part means dismantling their military organization to ensure they can't arm themselves again. To do that, you need to capture the unit's commander and have him order his men to disband. In this case, the commander is the White Mamba. There's nobody above him, so he's all we need to grab. Finally, reintegration. Through education and occupational training, we give them a means to live besides war. A lot of kids born in a war zone don't know any other way to live. So before they find themselves back there, we teach them another skill. I'd like to establish this rehabilitation process at Mother Base. That's why we're bringing those kids back here. It's not so much for their sake. It's for the world that we're trying to create. No other way about it. Those kids are amateurs. Bad for business to have them running around where we're trying to work. Bring them all back if possible. Or as many as you can.
Vale, pues no nos han dicho mucho sobre Mamba Blanca, nada más que no se sabe su procedencia y que es el único blanquito de la zona. Vamos a ver si aquí en la última nos dicen algo, pero no creo, así que vamos a escucharla a ver, de todas formas.
We placed the White Mamba and the rest of his unit in the staff living quarters.
How's that going?
It's a disaster, but what else can we do? We've taken away his weapons and banned him from using his nom de guerre. Apparently his real name is Eli. He must feel like we stripped him of his whole identity. We'll let things simmer down. I put a guard on him for now. Still the question is, who is he? Where did he come from? And how has he survived?
He's still not talking.
No, he won't say a word about himself. But you know, it looks like he speaks English. One of the deck crew called out to him in English, and he said something back. He just lost it all of a sudden, started mouthing off at the guy in perfect English. He wasn't stringing together words he picked up somewhere.
So English is his mother tongue.
He could be from the east, or the south, or maybe even further north or south. English is well established in countries all across the continent. It's rooted in Africa like a weed, or maybe parasite is the better word. So just speaking English doesn't help us figure out where he comes from.
Could even be from off-continent.
Right. In any case, we'll keep an eye on him. If we learn anything else, I'll be sure to let you know.
Vale, ahora me ha venido así como un medio flashback. Yo creo que cuando han dicho el nombre de Eli, yo creo que sí es Raiden. Me suena que Raiden se llamaba en realidad Eli, que lo dice en el Metal Gear Solid. Me suena, no estoy seguro al 100%, pero creo que sí es. Aparte la chaqueta que lleva, es que se parece un montón a... En el Metal Gear Solid 3 hay un personaje que se parece un montón a Raiden, pero un montón. Y es su padre, su abuelo o yo qué sé. Así que yo creo que sí es Raiden ese. Eli es Raiden, no sé cuántos años tendrá. Pero es que estamos en el 70 y pico, creo. Y las acciones del Metal Gear Solid 2 es que se desarrollan muy tarde, en el 2000 y pico. Tendría demasiados años, yo creo, Raiden se le ve más bien joven. Por eso no me cuadra del todo al 100% que sea Raiden. Así que por eso... no sé. Sigo dudando 100% si es Raiden. Yo creo que el Liquid, Raiden, no sé. Si lo sabéis, decídmelo en los comentarios. Y bueno, nada más, pepinote, lo vamos a ir dejando por aquí. Voy a intentar lo del Minitruco porque no me acuerdo exactamente dónde es. Así que corto y os pongo el Minitruco ahora, después del corte. Hasta ahora. Muy bien, pepinotes, aquí os traigo la parte del extra en la que os enseño un mini truquito. Y esta vez va a ser cómo matar a la señorita que... bueno, matar. Cómo derrotar a la señorita que tenemos aquí delante, aquí, sin usar armas. Así que venga, vamos a ello. A ver si me acuerdo, creo que es la misión número 11, oculta en el silencio, vale, sí. Y también conseguir una letra S, pero bueno, la S es muy fácil. Vale, me deja elegir armas. Así que yo os recomiendo, si queréis ganar pasta y no perderla y no gastar... eso, si no queréis gastar bastante pasta, os recomiendo que hagáis esto. Esto que voy a hacer, yo creo que eso es lo que más voy a tardar. ¿En serio no me deja? Bueno, os recomiendo que os pongáis el arma más barata. Yo no lo voy a hacer porque tengo 10.000 armas y no me apetece eso. Pero... y tampoco ponerlo luego otra vez todos los huecos. Pero en teoría ponéis las cosas más baratas, las mierdas de apoyo las quitáis si queréis ganar más pasta y no perder pasta. Es decir, si queréis sacar un beneficio. Pero el truco no es para ganar puntos ni nada de eso. Es simplemente para que sepáis cómo matar a Kiet sin utilizar ningún tipo de arma. Y la verdad es que es una forma bastante absurda. De hecho, voy a cambiar de personaje para que le dé una medallita a alguno de estos pringaos. A ver, pringaos. ¿Hay alguno que sea una plus? A plus, a plus, a plus, a plus, a plus. Oh, la chati esta. Vamos con la chati. No, que se te vea la cara. A mí que se te vea bien. Nada, está todo fuerte la chati. Venga, vamos a iniciar misión y mujer contra mujer. Es bastante sencillo, el truco que os voy a enseñar. La verdad es que no tiene mucho misterio. Y si no lo sabíais, en cuanto lo veáis diréis, pero ¿cómo no se me había ocurrido antes? Yo de hecho, la tarea esta, la de matarla sin armas, si hubiese sabido este truco, me hubiese venido muy bien. Porque yo matarla sin armas la maté a puñetazos. Es decir, iba a por ella a saco y a puñetazos. Y sí se puede matar a puñetazos. Cuesta bastante, pero a puños se la puede matar. Pero bueno, que esta forma es mucho más sencilla. La localizamos. Y ahora abrimos el mapa. Y sí, entrega de suministros. Esto es tan absurdo como... lo malo es que me gasto 35k cada vez que pido un suministro, por el hecho de que mis armas son caras y tal. Pero bueno, no pasa nada. Solo espero que me llegue el dinero para matarla, Y ahora venga, vamos a ver el absurdo del absurdo. Me preocupa la verdad el tema del dinero, pero bueno. Vamos a ver si dispara. Dispara. Y ahora vais a ver cómo... y... ¡pop! Media vida fuera. Vale, ahora llega quizás un poco la parte que es un pelín más complicada. Que aquí es donde puede pegar un tiro, quizás. Pero bueno, si tenéis pasta y tal, yo creo que hay una forma de que no cueste 35k los suministros. Os ponéis las armas más baratas y todo eso. Y yo creo que hasta podéis sacar dinero, aparte de heroísmo, con esta misión. Vale, pues mira, esto es tan fácil como otra vez hacemos lo mismo. Espera, me la ha detectado el perro. Vale, me la ha detectado el perro, pero no la he detectado yo. Joder. Pero ¿qué puesto de francotirador es este en el que no ves al enemigo? ¿Me lo explicas, Kid? Vale, ya la tengo marcada. Pues esto es tan fácil como hacer lo mismo de antes. Entrega de suministros. Lo mismo si pido un arma o un ítem me cuesta bastante menos. Sí, vale. O sea, lo podéis hacer así. Me ha costado la mitad el pedir el arma y el ítem. El arma ese de 35k a 19, pues no está mal. Y ahora nada, esperad a que llegue el suministro. Y no sé si muere ya o hay que hacerlo otra vez más. Ahí va, está cayendo, está cayendo, está cayendo. Con los reflejos que tienen aquí y no se espera una caja en la cabeza. Es que es absurdo esto, Y ya está. Bueno. Cállate, coño, Miller. En teoría cuesta unos 38k. Si hacemos lo de lanzarle... es decir, si pedimos un arma y se la lanzamos a la cabeza, ha costado 19k, ¿no? O algo así. Pues costaría 38k matarla sin usar armas. Y ya está, aquí está el mini truco. Quizás sirva para conseguir heroísmo, la verdad. Se me ha cambiado voz y se me ha cambiado todo. Y nada, venga, vamos a saltar las escenas a ver cuánto heroísmo y cuánta mierda esa nos da. No sé si aquí si le doy al R2 la mato. Venga, sí, vos, vamos, quiero saltar la escena. Ahí estamos. No sé si se la puede matar. Es que nunca lo he probado, me da no sé qué... Darle al botón de disparar y que pueda morir. Porque es que es bastante útil. Que sí, que es Cypher. Hostias, ¿puedo poner a la tía esta en desnudo? ¿Cómo iría? Si la pongo desnuda. Iría como quiere, con sujetador. Ay, cállate ya, Miller. Qué paranoico es el Miller, por favor. Dos paranoias. Venga, vámonos. Venga, a ver si llegamos ya... ¡Ey, que me cambio de lado! A ver si nos pone ya pasta poca, porque la he hecho bastantes veces, así que seguramente haya perdido dinero. Pero supongo que pondré mini truco para conseguir heroísmo o para matar aquí sin armas. Vamos a ver cuánto heroísmo nos da. Pero no, me parece que pondré lo de que sin armas porque es más eficaz el otro mini truco que hice para el heroísmo. Más eficaz por el tema de que tardan mucho menos en hacerlo. Venga, la fama aumentado, reporte de batalla. Despliegue, me han dado 50 por el despliegue de mercenarios. Vale, una S, es evidente. Y... hostia puta. Ah, no, mira, sí he ganado pasta. He ganado 181.000. Vale, no está mal. Este es el total de ingresos. No está mal. He gastado un montón. Y 1660 de heroísmo. Bueno, también sirve para conseguir heroísmo. Por la puntuación y tal. Puntos de acción pocos, pero te dan 1600 por conseguir una S. Y nada más, pepinotes. Espero que os haya gustado el truco. Y nos vemos en el siguiente capítulo extra. Hasta la próxima. Chao.